Movie camera. Before we begin, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more real-life emotional stories that touch your heart. Let's start. It was a cold morning on the edge of a forgotten town, a place where broken dreams lived longer than hope. Along the cracked sidewalk of Main Street stood a young single mother, Mia, early 30s, her coat too thin for the biting wind. Beside her, a little girl of about 7, Lily, stood on tiptoe behind a wooden crate of bright red apples. A handmade sign read, "Fresh apples, $1 each. Please help." They had been standing there since sunrise. Cars passed by without slowing. Some people glanced, some pretended not to see. But Mia kept her smile alive for Lily, even as her fingers turned red from the cold. Every apple they sold meant a meal, maybe rent, maybe another day of light. What Mia didn't know was that the day was about to turn darker than she'd ever imagined, and that angels, not the ones with wings, but with roaring engines and leather jackets, were about to change everything. A black sports car screeched to a stop in front of them, music blasting. Out stepped Trent Donnelly, the arrogant son of the town's wealthiest businessman, known for his temper and his father's money. He was in his mid-20s, tall, expensive jacket, golden watch flashing in the sunlight. He smirked at the mother and child, tossing his keys in the air. Well, he sneered, selling apples on my street now? Guess poverty has a new face. Mia straightened. It's not your street, sir. We're just trying to make a living. Trent laughed, stepping closer. You're blocking my dad's storefront. Move it, or I'll make you. Lily clutched her mother's sleeve, frightened. Mommy. Mia stood firm, heart pounding. Please, we're not hurting anyone. Trent's smile vanished. He grabbed one of the apples and threw it on the ground, smashing it under his shoe. You're hurting my view, sweetheart. Pick up your junk and get lost before I call someone who'll make sure you never come back. Mia's eyes filled with tears. She picked up the broken apple, her hands trembling. But when Trent turned to leave, he saw something, a small patch on Mia's old jacket, half torn but still visible, a red-winged skull, the emblem of the Hells Angels. He frowned. What's that? You in a gang now? He mocked. Mia looked down. No, she whispered. It was my husband's. He passed away 2 years ago. Trent grinned darkly. Oh, so your dead biker husband isn't here to save you, huh? He stepped closer, his voice turning low and cruel. Then remember this, lady, next time I see you here, you and your brat will regret it. Lily started crying. Please don't hurt us. Trent laughed, got into his car, and sped off, tires screeching. The smell of burnt rubber lingered as Mia hugged Lily tightly, whispering, It's okay, baby. Mommy's here. But someone had seen everything. Across the street, outside a small auto garage, a massive man with tattoos down his arms and a leather vest with the same red skull watched silently. Ryder, a senior member of the Hells Angels, had been refilling oil in his bike when he saw Trent's cruelty. He clenched his jaw, his eyes narrowing. He muttered to himself, That's Jack's girl, and his kid. Jack, Mia's late husband, had been Ryder's brother-in-arms. And no one, absolutely no one, disrespected family. Later that afternoon, Mia and Lily were packing up when they heard the rumble of engines, deep, thunderous, and close. The sound grew louder until half a dozen motorcycles turned the corner, chrome glinting in the sunlight. People on the street froze, watching in awe, or fear. The Hells Angels had arrived. Leading them was Ryder. He parked his Harley near the apple stand and took off his helmet, revealing kind eyes beneath a rugged face. Mia, he said softly, Jack would have wanted me to look out for you. What happened? Mia hesitated, but the kindness in his voice broke her silence. She told him everything, about the threats, the smashed apples, and the fear in Lily's eyes. Ryder listened quietly, his expression darkening with every word. When she finished, he looked over his shoulder at the other bikers. "Boys," he said calmly, "we got a rich brat who needs a lesson in respect." Hours later, Trent Donnelly strutted out of his father's restaurant, laughing with friends. The street lights flickered on. He froze when he saw a line of roaring Harleys waiting for him at the curb. Ryder stepped forward, his boots echoing on the pavement. "You Trent Donnelly?" Trent smirked nervously. "Yeah, who's asking?" Ryder's tone was low, dangerous. "You threatened Jack's wife. That makes it my problem." Trent laughed, trying to act brave. "You think you can scare me?" "My dad." "Your dad's money can't buy you out of this," Ryder interrupted, his voice like thunder. "You mess with a kid and a widow? That's the lowest kind of man." He stepped closer, and Trent backed up until he hit his car. The other bikers revved their engines, the sound like an approaching storm. Ryder pointed to the ground. "Pick up that apple you threw earlier. Apologize to the lady and the kid. Now." Trent hesitated, but the fury in Ryder's eyes told him this was no joke. With shaking hands, he bent down and picked up a bruised apple from the gutter. "I'm sorry," he mumbled. Louder, Ryder barked. "I'm sorry." Trent shouted, his face red with shame. The bikers nodded, silent but satisfied. Ryder leaned in and whispered, "Next time you raise your voice to a child, you'll answer to all of us. Understand?" Trent nodded quickly. "Why yeah. I understand." The Hells Angels turned their bikes around and thundered off into the dusk, leaving Trent pale and trembling beside his expensive car. The next morning, Mia and Lily returned to their spot, only this time, something was different. The crate was new, the apples fresh, shiny, and stacked high. A small note rested on top. "Family looks after family. From the Angels." Mia smiled through tears as Lily bit into a bright red apple. "Mommy," she said with a giggle, "these taste like magic." Mia hugged her tightly, whispering, "That's because good people still exist, sweetheart. Even the ones who look scary." From across the street, Ryder watched from his bike, gave a small nod, and rode away into the morning sun. And that day, the whole town learned something unforgettable. Sometimes angels don't wear white robes, sometimes they ride Harleys. Broken heart, if this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Because every view helps us tell more stories of courage, kindness, and unexpected heroes. See you in the next one.